What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome back to FC Sean Predict. Today we're going to be predicting Premier League Game Week 11 right before the international break starts. Before we do that, let's just take a quick look at our Game Week 10 tips and predictions and see how good or bad with it. Let's start with the first one. Brighton were hosting Leeds. We had two tips for that game. Brighton to win with the odds of 1.80. And we had the second tip, Brighton to score over 1.5 goals with the 1.78 odds. And the actual result was 3-0 for Brighton. So we hit both of the tips and both of them were a green box tip. So we hit both of the juicy odds there. The following match, Burnley were hosting Arsenal. Our tip was Arsenal to win combined with over 1.5 goals combined with under 5.5 goals, odds 1.72. We hit that. The actual result was 2-0 for Arsenal and our predicted score was 2-0 for Arsenal. So we predicted the correct score as well. And the following match, Fulham were hosting Wolves. We also had two tips here. The first one, Fulham to win with the odds of 1.84. And the second tip was Fulham to score over 1.5 goals with the odds of 1.95. As you can see, this is the second game where we had two tips and we hit both of them. Just pick and choose the one that you like. The actual result was 3-0 for Fulham. So 184, Fulham to win, plus 195, Fulham to score over 1.5 goals. Both of them hit. Juicy odds right there. And the following match, one of the interesting games of Game Week 10, Nottingham Forest were hosting Manchester United. Our green box tip for that game was United double chance combined with over 1.5 goals, meaning 2 or more goals in the game, odds 1.70, and we hit that tip. The actual result was 2-2 draw. And our second tip for that game was United to score over 1.5 goals with the odds of 1.90. We hit that one as well. As you can see, 3 games in a row we had two tips, just pick and choose, and we hit all 6 of them for those 3 games with 2 tips. The following match, Manchester City were hosting Bournemouth. Our tip was City double chance combined with both teams to score. The game just ended. We hit that tip with the juicy odds of 1.92. The actual result was 3-1 for Manchester City and our predicted score was 3-1 for City, so we hit that. I know a couple of you were saying there's no way Bournemouth are losing that game, they're killing it right now, but as I said, let's wait and see. And as you can see, we predicted the exact score line, not only the winner. And the following match, Sunderland Everton, that's gonna be played tomorrow. So we don't know the outcome for that game, but I hope we're going to hit that one as well. The tip for that is Sunderland double chance combined with Sunderland to score over 0.5 goals. So we're going to see that one. The following 2 games, we predicted the correct winners. Tottenham, Chelsea. Our tip was both teams to score combined with Chelsea double chance 1.85, but we missed that. Tottenham couldn't score at home. But as we said, that Tottenham are not playing good at home and we backed Chelsea to win. And the correct winner for that game was 2.30. We hit that juicy odd. The actual result was 1-0 for Chelsea. Similar story with Crystal Palace hosting Brentford. Our tip was both teams to score with the odds of 1.72. And unfortunately, that was a green box, but we missed that. Brentford couldn't score. But we did hit the correct winner in that game because this was a very competitive game. And we backed Crystal Palace to win. The juicy odds for that was 2.05, so we hit the correct winner for that. And the following 2 games we missed. Liverpool were hosting Aston Villa, and our tip was both teams to score combined over 2.5 goals. Aston Villa couldn't find the back of the net, unfortunately. All we needed was a goal from Villa, but they weren't able to. But they had so many good chances, so we missed that. And the following match, West Ham were hosting Newcastle. Our tip was Newcastle double chance combined with under 3.5 goals. And if you remember my previous video, I said I'm not too sure about this tip, so I wouldn't touch that. So as you can see, I had a feeling Newcastle actually lost. West Ham won 3-1 for West Ham. But overall, as you can see, we did a pretty good job hitting majority of our tips and predictions and missing only a few. And we don't know about Sunderland yet. So yeah, that's how we did on Game Week 10. Let's try to do even better on Game Week 11 before the international break. Please don't forget to hype this video, like, subscribe so you're not going to miss the next releases. Leave your comments and predictions in the comment section. And now without further ado, let's dive into Game Week 11. Let's go. First match of the week, the opener is going to be hot. Spurs will be hosting Manchester United, 5th against the 8th. So Spurs, just like we said last week, lost at home to Chelsea. Chelsea didn't just win, they played like they owned the stadium. 15 shots to 3, 9 on target versus Spurs 1. At some point, I had an impression that Spurs came to watch, not play. Now, Manchester United, however, went to visit Nottingham Forest, and things started really well for them. Casemiro scored a beautiful header. He was flying like Ronaldo in 2008. Then came the drama. Forest said, "Hold my beer," and scored 2 quick goals in the beginning of the second half and made a comeback 2-1. It happened so fast that United fans started checking if the game had an emergency exit. But credit where it's due, United said not today. Amad Diallo scored a world-class goal. He almost won it for United too, but a Forest defender turned into Superman and blocked it. That would be a 2-3 win for Manchester United. Now history time. The last time Forest and United met was the Europa League final, which ended 1-0 for Forest. Now another interesting fact is, the last time United visited Spurs for a Premier League match, the game ended also 1-0 for Tottenham. And I have a feeling that United are coming to this one with revenge mode activated. But one small detail though, Spurs will be having a Champions League match against Copenhagen while United will be chilling, eating biscuits and training. So maybe, just maybe, United have the upper hand in this one again, considering I keep mentioning Tottenham are not good at home. They're not a home team this season. They keep dropping points at home and they're doing a terrific job away. So I'm not going to be surprised if Spurs are going to drop points at home again. So my score prediction for this game is probably going to surprise you. 1-3 for Manchester United. And my tip is United double chance combined with over 1.5 goals, odds 1.80, and that would be my green box tip. On to the next one. Everton will be hosting Fulham, 15th against the 14th. So as I mentioned earlier, Everton will be visiting Sunderland on Monday, so we do not know the outcome yet, so let's see how that one goes. Now about Fulham, they hosted Wolves, scored early, and then Wolves said, "We don't like 11 versus 11, and got Agdabu sent off. After that, it was like a training mode for Fulham. Easy 3-0 win, no stress. But here's the question, was that win a real comeback or just one of those we'll remember that forever kind of win? So I really hope they are actually waking up and will be getting more points than before. Now the interesting fact between these two is the last time Everton visited Fulham, that game ended 1-1 draw. And another interesting fact here is Everton's last home game was against Spurs and they lost the game 3-0, which I couldn't believe. And you do know how Everton fans get angry when their team loses. Even the pigeons fly away from Hill Dixon. My score prediction for this match is 2-1 for Everton. And my tip is Everton double chance combined with over 1.5 goals, odds 1.80. On to the next one. West Ham will be hosting Burnley, 18 against the 17th. Last time out, West Ham hosted Newcastle. They conceded first, typical West Ham. But then suddenly woke up, like someone said, 3 pins at halftime. 2 quick goals in the first half alone, 2-1, and ending up winning the game 3-1. Good performance, but they still haven't figured out how to win at home more regularly. Burnley on the other hand played Arsenal, and yeah, it went exactly like everybody was expecting. 2 goals in the first half, game over, fans already planning their weekend early. 2-0 for Arsenal, clean and simple, just like we predicted. Now the fun fact here is the last 2 times Burnley visited West Ham, both of them ended in a draw, 1-1 and 2-2. So it is basically like a tradition now. Burnley go there, everyone scores once or twice, and they'll go home pretending to be happy, sharing the points. And another interesting fact is West Ham had 0 home wins before they faced Newcastle, and finally today they were able to defeat Newcastle and get their first ever home win this season. And then you want to take a look at Burnley's away form, which is 1 win and 4 losses. So you just don't know who to back in this one. So my score prediction for this match is 1-0 1 draw, and my tip is both teams to score odds 1.77. On to the next one. One of the interesting games of game week 11 will be Sunderland against Arsenal, 7th against the 1st. As I mentioned earlier, Sunderland will be hosting Everton on Monday and we do not know the outcome of that game yet. Now when it comes to Arsenal, they're just flying right now. They went to Burnley, dominated the game like it was a training session, scored 2 quick goals in the first half, Gyökeres with the opener, and then Declan Rice joined the party. By halftime, Burnley fans were already googling how to leave the stadium early. Final score 2-0 for Arsenal. They're sitting top of the table and clearly not planning to move from there. And if the table had rent, Arsenal would already paid for the full season. Now the fun fact time, the last time Arsenal visited Sunderland, that was back in 2016, 9 years ago, and that game ended 4-1 for Arsenal, 2 goals from Alexis Sanchez, and another 2 from Olivier Giroud. And can you guess who won the Premier League that season? It was Chelsea. But this time around, it's a different Sunderland. They just beat Chelsea away at Stamford Bridge. So yeah, like, they're not that easy 3-point team anymore. And if you're gonna underestimate them, they're gonna ruin your weekend. My score prediction for this match is 0-1 for Arsenal, another classic Arsenal win. And my tip is Arsenal to win combined with under 3.5 goals, odds juicy 2.0. On to the next one. Chelsea will be hosting Wolves, 6th against the 20th. Last week, Chelsea visited Spurs and just like we called it, defeated them 1-0 against all the odds. And it wasn't luck either. Chelsea dominated the game like it was a FIFA game on beginner mode. 9 shots on target versus Spurs 1. The only goal came from João Pedro, but honestly, it could have easily ended 3-0 or 4-0 if Chelsea players knew how to finish. Meanwhile, Wolves visited Fulham, got a red card early, and got destroyed 3-0. If things don't change soon for Wolves, they'll probably be playing Championship next season. But the good news is Wolves sacked their coach Vitor Pereira, so hope things will change for better now. Now before this match, Chelsea have a Champions League game and they have to travel to Azerbaijan to face Karabakh, which is not going to be an easy task to be honest. But here's the thing, Wolves visiting Chelsea is never an easy task. The last time they visited Stamford Bridge, they lost 3-1. But the fun fact here is these two recently faced each other in the Carabao Cup. As a matter of fact, it was a few days ago, and that game ended 4-3 for Chelsea. So yeah, Wolves want revenge, but Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, good luck with that. But never say never. We all remember what Sunderland did to Chelsea last time they visited Stamford Bridge. So my score prediction for this match is 2-0 for Chelsea. And my tip is Chelsea to win combined with under 4.5 goals, odds 1.70. On to the next one. Aston Villa will be hosting Bournemouth, 11th against the 4th. Last time out, Aston Villa visited Anfield and actually put up a good fight. It was going fine until their goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez decided to play gift mode. He basically passed the ball straight to Mo Salah, who said thank you very much and scored. That goal completely killed Villa's spirit and they ended up losing the game 2-0. And Bournemouth on the other hand visited Manchester City. It was a back and forth game but ended up losing the game anyway. Now here's the thing, Aston Villa are strong at home with 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. Another thing that we have to keep in mind is Aston Villa have a Europa League match against Maccabi Tel Aviv at home before this one. The fun fact here, the last time Bournemouth visited Villa Park, the game ended 1-1 draw. So this game could go either way, like 2 teams fighting over the last slice of pizza. But my score prediction for this match is 2-1 for Aston Villa, and my tip is over 2.5 goals, odds 1.75. On to the next one. Brentford will be hosting Newcastle, 12th against the 13th. Last week Brentford visited Crystal Palace and lost 2-0 despite having 65% possession, like prime Barcelona, but still couldn't find the back of the net. Sometimes football is cruel just like that. Newcastle meanwhile visited West Ham, scored early and thought easy day lads. But West Ham had different plans, scored 2 quick goals and then the third one later. The game ended 3-1 for West Ham. Newcastle fans were probably checking if their TV was broken. Now when it comes to Brentford at home, they are a really solid team with 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss. And as a matter of fact, they have beaten Manchester United and Liverpool here recently, so don't underestimate them. And another super interesting fact is Newcastle is still trying to find their first away win. Tough luck, lads. Now, fun fact from history, last 10 head-to-heads between these two, 7 wins for Newcastle, 2 for Brentford and 1 draw. So based on these stats, we can see they don't like sharing points, it's fight till the end. And the last time Newcastle visited Brentford, there were 6 goals in the game. Brentford won it 4-2, so I'm hoping and expecting some more goals and chaos in this game. My score prediction for this match is 3-1 for Brentford, and my tip is Brentford double chance combined with over 1.5 goals odds 2.05. On to the next one. Crystal Palace will be hosting Brighton. This is gonna be another interesting game. 9th against the 10th. Last week, Palace hosted Brentford and surprisingly won 2-0 despite having only 35% possession. Yep, they literally let Brentford to have the ball and still scored more. Shots 9 versus 6. Shots on target 2 versus 2. Efficiency level expert. Meanwhile, Danny Welbeck is on fire for Brighton. He scored the opener against Leeds. Diego Gomez joined the party with a brace. Final score 3-0 for Brighton. Now the fun fact here is Palace has a Conference League match against AZ Alkmaar before this game, so let's just hope they're not going to be coming back confused about the time zones. Now, history lesson. The last time Brighton visited Palace, it was more like a UFC fight than football. 3 red cards in the game, 2 for Palace and 1 for Brighton. And that game ended 2-1 for Palace and probably a few bruises too. So I'm feeling history might repeat itself here again and we might get a similar scoreline. My score prediction for this match is 2-1 for Crystal Palace, and my tip is Palace to score over 1.5 goals, meaning 2 or more goals by Palace, odds 2.0, and that would be my green box tip. On to the next one. Nottingham Forest will be hosting Leeds, 19th against the 16th. Last week, Nottingham Forest hosted Manchester United. United scored first from a corner. Sean Dyche was fuming, claiming it should have been given. He thought the ball didn't cross the line and VAR stayed asleep, so who knows. But even then, Forest didn't give up that easily. They came out in the second half and scored 2 quick goals within 4 minutes and stunned Manchester United. But Amad Diallo said, "Not today," and equalized. And that was a world-class goal. I couldn't believe my eyes. And Forest actually showed some spirit this time. It looks like Sean Dyche is exactly what the team needed. Meanwhile, Leeds visited Brighton and lost the game 3-0. At Amex Stadium, Brighton are basically a different kind of beast. And one thing to keep in mind at this game is Forest have a Europa League match against Sturm Graz before this one, so let's see if that tires them out or pumps them up, so we don't know how that's gonna go. Now the fun fact here is the last time Leeds visited Forest, that was 2 years ago, and the guests actually won the game 2-0. But after Nottingham Forest's spirited comeback against Manchester United, I started believing in them again. So my score prediction for this match is 2-0 for Nottingham Forest, and my tip is Forest to win, odds 2.10, or if you want something different, then Forest to score over 1.5 goals, meaning 2 or more goals by Nottingham Forest, odds 2.20. And the last game of match week 11 is also one of the most important games of the week. It will be Manchester City hosting Liverpool, 2nd against the 3rd. Last time out, Manchester City hosted Bournemouth and it was a close game actually. Haaland scored first and then Bournemouth replied with an equalizer immediately. Then City decided to fully wake up and score 2 more goals and won the game 3-1. And that was the exact scoreline that we actually predicted for that game. Meanwhile, Liverpool hosted Aston Villa, the team that recently beat Manchester City, but the Reds showed who's the boss at Anfield, winning the game 2-0. And when it comes to Liverpool's fixtures, it's a nightmare. First they had to face Crystal Palace, then Aston Villa, and then Real Madrid, and now Manchester City. The Reds are basically living a video game on a hard mode. Now the fun fact between these two is the last time Liverpool visited Manchester City, they actually beat City 2-0. And the last 4 encounters, City weren't able to get a single win. 2 wins for Liverpool and 2 draws. So who's winning this game? Honestly, it's so tough to pick a winner in this one since both of them are not too consistent lately. So my score prediction for this match is 2-2 draw. And my tip is both teams to score combined with over 2.5 goals, odds 1.75. And that is all guys, that was our Premier League Game Week 11 tips and predictions. Please do not forget to hype the video. It's a new feature on YouTube and only available on mobile phones right now. So if you scroll down a little bit, you should be able to see where the comments are, a little bit above the comments. It says hype, so you can click it 3 times, and yeah, that would be really appreciated. And yeah, so as always, put thumbs up if you liked the video, leave your comments and predictions in the comment section, subscribe so you're not going to miss our next releases. And bye for now.